A-10 called a Warthog, and I was in combat with both these airplanes and trained, certified combat capable in those two airplanes. These, the F-15 and the F-16 I have flown in, but have not been fully qualified. After I retired from the Air Force, went to work at Acme Brick in Elgin. My son checked me out in his job as a burner. Not many fathers get to get checked out in a work site by their son, but I had that opportunity. He subsequently went in the Navy and became a Navy SEAL. Anyway, I spent 20 lovely years at Acme, as I mentioned, in a lot of jobs. Among them, working with the mining team and the mining teams at Elgin. Got checked out in the bulldozer, the haul truck, water truck, tractor, and the maintainer.
What do you call these guys, so I make sure I get it right on the books?
Mining safety. Anyway, and in the process, got certified as an msha instructor. Okay, so why or what is the similarity, or why talk about that? And it might not surprise you to know that there's a number of similarities. First of all, the equipment we use in mining is designed and built for a single purpose. Excavators for digging out material from the ground as efficiently and as safely as possible. Haul trucks for hauling material from the pit to the stockpile as quickly, as safely, as efficiently as possible, with efficiently involving the least cost to move material from one place to the other. The equipment you use, equipment I use, fairly high technology, and has gotten more so over the years. Lots of computer involved, and that means they're expensive. You mentioned, Alan, I think, may have been a bulldozer, I can't remember the equipment you mentioned was in the, between the $500,000 and $1 million. Right, and the Trevo.
Yeah.
And the airplane I first flew, in then years dollars, was just at $1 million. So, expensive. Involves a single operator, no crew or passengers. That means the operator has the decision-making responsibility, not only capability, but and sometimes it involves making a decision right now. That is very important. And the machinery we use can be lethal, not only to yourself, but to others if it's not operated properly. Training, it's relatively easy to basically operate. I could teach my grandmother how to take off and land an airplane. It's what happens between taking off and landing that is the trick. I learned how to drive a haul truck fairly quickly, but there's a difference between just driving around near the clay shed and actually hauling it, dumping it on either next to a high wall or on the stockpile, so that it's done consistently. So easy to learn how to operate, but difficult to employ effectively. And that requires time, developing skill and ability. I want to focus back on the single purpose and design idea, because I want to talk a little bit about the airplane I last flew, It's called the A-10 Warthog because it's so ugly. My wife says that as I went through my Air Force career, the airplanes got uglier as I went along, and so did I.
But that one's still around.
The A-10 is designed for a single purpose, and that's to destroy armor, tanks, armored personnel carriers. This is the gun, as you can see.
I got a gun to shoot one of those.
The gun is basically everything forward of the wing, besides the cockpit, and the rest of it's a gun. The nose wheel is offset to the right to make room for the gun. This is a round that fires. This is my son. Let me borrow one of his runs. You can see there's a bit of a difference.
That one's not that much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So, designed for one purpose, and that's very similar to.
Is there no powder in this one?
Sorry?
Is there powder in this one?
No, there isn't. There's no powder in this one. It was used
It's a dummy.
in the development of
Hey, don't talk about your friend like
the
that.
airplane.
I'm talking about you. Oh,
Put it
my
in the
little
vise.
Fifi.
Put it in the vise and hit it from behind.
Pointing toward me. Oh, I wanna see. I like warthogs. I had a PlayStation, had a warthog. That was fun to play.
It's a
They
very
were fun to
maneuverable
play.
airplane.
Oh, now you're one.
Yeah, they're badass.
What was the purpose of this plane made? What was its main job? To fly?
Killing
Ground troops.
Killing tanks and providing close air support to.
For the people on the ground.
Get killed.
Fires 90 rounds a second. 90
Wow.
rounds in 1 second.
Wow.
How many rounds a second?
90.
Man, he ain't getting away from
I think he might be dead. I used to have a game like that.
Zag and zag.
How fast
They
did it go?
take out
The high
bridges,
speed.
tanks, other airplanes.
Sorry?
What's the high speed on it?
It's not very fast compared to other fighters.
But it's maneuverable.
450.
Not very fast,
Fast
that
as
is
it'll go. But it's very maneuverable and it can take a lot of punishment.
That's why the motors
It
are
can
stuck
still
together
fly-
like that.
Yeah, motors are up where they're shielded, they're between the two tails, shielded for heat-seeking missiles. That was designed to, if half of one wing was shot off, if half of the tail was shot off, it could still fly and land.
Plus they have the little cluster thing that come underneath when they make a turn.
So it's, and it has capability for.
Was that the only gun on that plane, was the cannon?
Yeah.
That's all it had, was the.
That's the only gun. You can carry missiles, bombs, rockets.
Everything else.
It's got,
Whatever you got in your pocket.
there's 8 stations that can, you can hang bombs, rockets, whatever you want to underneath it.
Did you still use them?
Oh, yeah.
It's still, the matter of fact, they're upgrading them now.
Yeah, the Air Force, the heads of the Air Force keep trying to
That was my-
retire.
that
and
was
get
my
rid of
favorite
it.
game.
Congress won't let them, particularly congressmen who had served in the Army.
Oh, they used
In Afghanistan. Did good job in Afghanistan. Let me do this back to where I was. So the whole purpose of that is machines that are designed like our mining equipment are designed for a simple purpose, and they're very good at doing that. Okay, so it's now, I want to talk a little bit something that may or may not come to your attention. That's the confidence versus ability syndrome. It goes like this. Typically, when a person is training in a new piece of equipment, his confidence level is fairly low. I'm not sure I can operate this thing. I mean, it's a big excavator and what, but it's very shortly after he is checked out, learned how to operate, his confidence goes way up. Because, hey, it's not that hard to operate this. I think I can do it. And
Next thing you know, you're jumping stuff.
yeah, and so while his confidence level, our confidence level, goes up, it's a human nature to do that. Our ability only goes up very slowly. And let me see if I can show you on a graph, if you can see this. If you start off here with your confidence level and your ability very low, over time, your ability level goes up fairly straight line as you gain experience, like this. It goes as you gain experience, see new things, learn new things from perhaps other people's mistakes. That's how your confidence level goes up. Your ability, but your confidence tends to go up fairly quickly, and then as you go along, and maybe you dump at the wrong place on the stockpile, or maybe almost go off the stockpile. Your confidence.
Just blame it on somebody
Maybe
else.
I'm not as smart as I really was. Really thought I was, until finally it may take months or years, where your confidence level matches what your ability level is. I mention that because this area between the blue and the yellow lines is where the area of the most potential for accidents. So, what does that mean? For those of us who have a very limited time in the machine, or in the circumstances we're working with a machine, you may have years of experience in a machine, but if you're in a new environment, if you're used to operating a bulldozer on level ground and then find yourself next to a high wall, there's maybe a problem. So it's that area where the area that possibly the accident potential is high. What does that mean? For us as supervisors, for us as members of the team, we need to keep an eye on the new guys.
Yeah, the new guys.
And it's not because as a new guy, it's just human nature. So
Sometimes you forget.
being a good member of the team, we need to watch out for each other. It's not pointing fingers derogatorily towards new members. It's just that that's human nature. As I just wanted to show you, this was pointed out earlier, a miner had a lot of, not a lot, but some experience as a bulldozer operator, came to work at this mine, probably a new environment, operating a machine he was familiar with, but perhaps not with that exact model or type of bulldozer. had been working for 3 weeks and 6 days and ended up killing himself.
Well, apparently somebody
Perhaps.
wasn't watching him either.
Yeah? So, I want to show you another video that shows that perhaps more dramatically. And see a picture with the bulldozer upside down at the bottom of the video. This is characteristics when you get at very low speed, and this is another view of it. If he just put the nose down, he could have ended up with a hard landing, but he could have walked away from it. Probably overconfident, or higher confidence than his ability to be lieutenant.
Yep.
This is the last view. The thing we learned is that when you're trying to turn this airplane at low speed, you have to use the control surfaces on the tail of the airplane called a rudder instead of the aileron, because if you put the aileron trying to turn in this direction, it causes more drag than it does lift the wing. As a result, the airplane goes in the opposite direction.
Like sticking a kayak paddle in the ground, in the water. If you're going real slow, you jam that kayak paddle in there, and it pulls you back around that way.
Yeah, that,
I don't think
that's a good example.
Kayak.
Handle.
A-Y-A.
Did he know he was in trouble once he got it sideways like that, or you think he was thinking I can fix this?
You know, I wish I knew.
The adrenaline probably got a hold of him.
He probably was saying
Oh, heck, oh,
That was good.
Yeah, but it's like once he turned like this, you're like.
Nobody heard
Good.
nobody heard one joke about Billy.
Because I'm in trouble.